Well, who would have thought that the INCARNON GAMMACOR, considered as a support and utility weapon, could one-shot level cap Demolysts with its blinding explosion. After witnessing this, being a doomer is no longer an option. DE has truly nailed it with this new INCARNON batch. It's the third weapon I've tried from this week's batch, and I'm constantly surprised by how well balanced these weapons are. You get to choose between cruising with single target damage using their non-INCARNON form or unleash AoE mayhem in INCARNON form. You can get the Gammacor at Mastery Rank 2 from the in-game market or by completing the Neptune Junction. Alternatively, you can acquire it from the Cephalon Suda at Mastery Rank 7. The Sinoid version of the Gammacor offers better stats on an innate entropy effect. This effect triggers after acquiring 1000 affinity, dealing magnetic damage and a guaranteed status effect to enemies within 25 meters. The best part is that it grants you 25% base energy recovery and increases your base energy by 25% for 30 seconds. In INCARNON form, the Gammacor shoots semi-automatic projectile with a guaranteed impact proc on direct hits. It then pulls and staggers enemies within 5 meters before exploding, inflating your weapon's status damage with a guaranteed cold proc on the explosion. This AoE INCARNON form is remarkably effective at grouping, ragdolling, slowing enemies, and blinding your squad unless you opt for a black energy color for a different experience. This Graviton Machine weapon is impressive, and it could very well become meta for specific farms in the near future. For this run, I use my Xata's Whisper Revenant Build to avoid the new feature after getting knocked. Xata's Whisper allows a second instance of damage affected by base, elemental, critical, and faction damage mods. It double dips on faction damage and body parts weaknesses. Revenant also allowed me to run the Arcane Cascadia Overcharge on the Gammacor, as Mesmer skins prevent overshield loss. As a priming weapon, I use the Magnetic Vacuum built to apply 6 statuses on my Xata's Whisper Bubble on Demolysts heads. For my Gammacor evolutions, I picked Sage's Resolve for increased damage, Evolved Autoloader for almost instant full reload, and Critical Parallel for critical damage boost. Okay, now let's dive into the build. It mainly focuses on the direct hit of the INCARNON form, but can still one-shot level cap enemies with its blast. I used a nice Riven with critical chance, multi-shot, and increased weapon recoil. As usual, on pistols I modded Primitive Charge as a single elemental mod, as hit does plus 25% damage on clone flesh enemies. Arcane-wise for this pistol, you can definitely use Secondary Shiver if your goal is AoE clearing, or Secondary Deadhead for instant high damage on single targets. In my case, I used Cascadia Overcharge for its fancy crits. In addition to Cascadia Overcharge, I replaced Creeping Bullseye with my Gammacor Static Run Riven and modded Prime Target Tracker. I then modded the mandatory Galvanize mods, Galvanize Diffusion and Galvanize Shot. For even more multi-shot and to blind teammates effectively, I modded Little Torrent and Anemic Agility. As the INCARNON form of the Gammacor is a projectile, it made sense to mod Little Momentum. And for the mission Kappa and Sedna, I modded Primed X-Speed Greener.